do you think about what you think about? And what I mean by that is, do you really think about how you feel and think about yourself? Do you monitor your thoughts? Do you sit and stop and think, am I really going to allow this thought come into my mindset? Am I really going to believe this about myself? Am I really going to believe this about my life? Why are we so intentional about pretty much everything else in our life but our thoughts? Everything begins and ends with your thought, if you really think about it. And when I kind of started thinking about, am I really being intentional about what I'm saying to myself, what I'm telling myself, the goals that I'm setting, how I think about myself and my life and what's really going on right now? I thought about, before COVID, when people go into the club, when you have to go into a club or when you want to go into a club, there is security, right? There's a bouncer outside, and he only lets you in for certain criteria, right? He lets you in if you pay. He lets you in if you are adhering to dress code. And also, if there's too many people inside the club, he won't let you in. And so I think, why are we not like this with our thoughts? When you have thoughts coming in, if those thoughts don't line up with the truth about your life, why are you letting them enter? You cannot go into the club if you are not properly dressed, so to speak, right? So if you have these thoughts that come into your mind and they don't agree with your truth, why are you letting them live there? I know this is easier said than done, but it's just a thought. Can you start to be more intentional about the thoughts that you're thinking about? Hey, this thought is coming into my mind. I'm not going to agree with it. Okay. Yes, we have thoughts that come to us and we're like, where are they coming from? Because we have thousands of thoughts a day. But do you have to pick up that thought and agree to it as your truth? The Bible says in 2 Corinthians, it talks about casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the truth. So it's like, am I taking this thought, like, I'm afraid, I'm depressed, I'm XYZ, I'm panicky. Are you going to take that thought to the Lord and say, is this truth? Or are you even going to take that thought to yourself and say, okay, am I really feeling this way? Am I really thinking this way? This thought's coming into my head. Am I going to partner with it? Thoughts are like clothes. Do I want to take this thought of depression and wear it and use it and say it as my identity? You don't have to do that. You can be intentional about your thoughts. You have this thought, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? Are you going to be intentional? Are you going to take those thoughts captive and line them up with the truth? Is this true? And also, like I said before, this is happening with COVID. If there are too many people in the store, you can't go in, right? You have to wait outside, or you have to wait outside the club. Sometimes we have so many thoughts going on. Do you ever feel like your brain is you have just all these categories, you have all these open tabs? And sometimes that causes confusion. Sometimes the best thing you can do is decompress. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a nap. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just release all those things and relieve yourself from the stress and the pressure that you're feeling. If you have too many thoughts going on, you're going to feel panicky. You're going to feel chaos. You're going to feel fear. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel confused. Are you watching too much news? Are you listening to too many things? Do you have too many literally open tabs going on in your brain? You can release those things. I'm releasing the feeling of fear. I'm releasing the feeling of this. I literally talk to my thoughts okay, I'm having this feeling of fear or depression and I'm not partnering with it. Depression, I see you and I'm not going to partner with you. You can literally talk to your thoughts and tell them to go. Once you release them, once you identify them and say okay, I see you. I'm feeling you. And then I'm just going to let you go. You will be surprised about how much power that gives you, instead of trying to avoid it and suppress it. Buried feelings are still alive. Trying to avoid it with Netflix, trying to avoid it with shopping, try to avoid it with such and such. It's still going to be there, stalking you, chasing you. You need to release that thought. I know there's so much more to do in just a short video that I'm sharing, but I just, wanted to share this food for thought that, are you thinking about what you're thinking about? Are you intentional about your thoughts? Do you take the time to do the work to say, like, you know, I have the choice to what I'm going to feel today. And I know that people say, oh, you know, Jules, you don't understand. Am I dealing with XYZ? Yes, there are certain circumstances. I can say, as a person who literally has dealt with depression, anxiety, and different things emotionally, it can be done. You can do this. You can be intentional about your thoughts. You can decide, okay, this thought is coming, am I going to feel it and partner with it, or am I going to take it? Am I going to take it to the courts and say, like, okay, God, like, is this true? Or to yourself, you know, like, hey, I'm feeling this thought. Does it line up with what God says about me? Does it line up with the truth about my life? Does it line up with really what I even think about myself? No. So I cast that thought down. I don't agree with it. I don't pick it up. I don't partner with it. Bye. You know, with everything going on with COVID, fear, anxiety, people losing their jobs, being afraid of getting COVID, being afraid of dying, like, are you going to partner with those things? Or are you going to say, okay, no, I see this. I'm not going to partner with it. I'm going to speak to it. So just a food for thought. Just hope that that helps anybody who's dealing with a lot of feelings, a lot of emotions going on during this time. I love you guys. I'm praying for you, and I'll see you next video.